G'day guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Season 40 Alliance War Highlights. This is week 2. Sorry about the lack of videos this week. I am back at uni now, so the videos coming out, definitely it won't be as frequent. But I always aim for quality over quantity on this channel, so if I can get 2 videos a week out while I'm there, that would be probably what I'm going to be aiming for, but I'm still thinking it through. Obviously I'm still going to put my work, my uni work over this channel. As much as I love making videos for you guys, real life does come first sometimes. But enough of that. Alliance War. So it's kind of crazy. I've been using a Mega Red for literally every war. I think as of recording this video, out of the 8 wars we've done, I've used a Mega for 7 of them, I reckon. And week 2, I used him every war. So I hope you guys aren't sick of the Omega gameplay yet. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so we've got a thing here. I believe this is, yeah, that's right. This is node 46. So strike, counter, block, penetration. Sloped armor doesn't affect thing because he doesn't get armor ups, but Omega is a great counter for this. I think I did actually mess up in this fight. Probably could have put a power star 1 boost on, but you don't really need it. You can do this fight without ever throwing a special, really, which is pretty good. Now, he is subdue Omega Red, so we can ignore things unstoppable when we have that neutralize up, which is really nice, because it's not a nullify, it's a neutralize. He does have 5 block penetration charges now, up to 7, 8, so getting quite high on the block penetration. That parry hit us for 3.4k, so not great, but he is most of the way down now. Unfortunately, I have lost the neutralize, so and that didn't apply neutralize there. I think it might, no, I think a heavy can still apply it, but unfortunately I just didn't realize that the neutralize wasn't on. I was assuming it would always be on. So he did actually go unstoppable there for a few seconds, but we are gonna throw a special 3 here, and this will get us some of our health back, not all of it, but it will pretty much finish him off as well. I think the life steal that we get from this, and no, that's right, he had the regen active from the node, so it is a passive, so we can't prevent it with neutralize, and we do actually activate the regen again, so he has gone back up to 10% health, but wow, yeah, that block penetration really did add up there by the end, so definitely could have played that fight a lot better, but it was a good result in the end. Okay, so we've got a boss island fight now. This is a Sersi on the Conflictor node. Sersi is a planetary endurance defender, but obviously Omega Red is a subdue attacker, so we've got a great counter for this fight here with Omega Red. Definitely one of the best options. You don't even really need a white mag spree here, but we just used it just for safety. Because Omega Red with 10 spores can completely ignore the Conflictor node. So she does activate her glancing right at the start here, so we're just going to wait that out for the most part, and it's not long left on it. We're just going to stun her a few times, or once, and then throw a heavy here. She does have 2 of the flourish buffs. We obviously don't want her to get more than that, so we did hit into a block there that got rid of them all. Lost a few spores there. Our heavy attack does activate the glancing there because we are boosted. I think normally it wouldn't activate the glancing, but it does when we're boosted. So it's really good having the passive stuns there because it just is a longer duration stun than normal, so we are able to use that duration to stay close to her and build up spores. It's another benefit of the white max pre there. So she does, well, we couldn't quite lock on the spores again there. She did throw a special. It did kind of affect the flow of the fight at this point. Not getting those spores locked on, but we're just going to let the degen. We wanted to let the degen do the work, but she kept throwing a bloody special 1, and it wasn't easy when she always had that glancing buff active. So yeah, definitely could have done that fight better again, but yeah, it was still a good result. 1 minute 12 for a Conflictor Sersi mini. Okay, so this is a fun fight. Yeah, this is a Kingpin, rank 4 Kingpin on the root node, so node 23. Scared Stiff and Power Focus 2. Power Focus 2 can make Kingpin a bit annoying because, you know, he getting this up to special 2, he activates that really long unstoppable. But if we do get that neutralize up, being a subdue attacker, we can prevent that unstoppable from coming up because it is a buff. Unfortunately, we were just too slow, or he was too slow in throwing at the special 1, so we did get rooted for a few seconds, but didn't really hinder us too much. We're locked in at 15 spores now. I don't want to block too much because of the Hull Shield. He did dex out of the first hit of the heavy somehow. We've got 13 spores now, so anything above 10 and we're good. We also do have the Red Hulk synergy in this fight, so every time we parry, we actually get a spore, which is a nice little damage bonus. So we're up to 16 now, 17. We do lock in the spores there. Unfortunately, being rooted only the first hit of the heavy lands, so you do have to get a bit lucky that he doesn't punish you halfway through. But yeah, very clean fight there with a Mega Red, less than a minute for a rank 4 Kingpin. Alright, so path fight now, we've got a rank 3 Terrax. This is on section 2 of path 1, so this has the one where I think if you back away like twice, they get regen or something. Or maybe it's not even that one. I can't remember. But Terrax is planetary endurance, so you will get those flourish buffs, but of course, again, Omega is subdue, so one of the best counters to planetary endurance, being the attack tactic that goes with planetary endurance. So we're pretty much locked in at 30 spores now. We do throw a heavy there. He does have 2 flourish buffs, but if we do throw a special, which we don't even need to because he's already dead, 20 seconds roughly to get that Terrax down. Crazy. And then we also have a Havok here on the buffet over time path fight. This is just a flex of the scope of fights that Omega Red can handle. I've talked about this in my last week's Alliance War video. Omega Red is just one of those champions that can counter so much, just in his kit, just by his nature of his damage, the way he applies his damage. It's so applicable to so many different champions, even champions that like Havok that usually demand a certain counter, as in having an armor up champ. Omega Red just completely ignores that. Now obviously a lot of champions that don't have armor can take this Havok without too much issue, but Omega Red yeah, he absolutely obliterates him. 30 seconds for that fight. Okay, so this is a fight I was actually a bit nervous for. This is a hazard shift Korg on the boss island. Now Omega Red is still, in my opinion, the best Korg counter in the game, but it can be a bit tricky with Korg as planetary endurance on stun immunity and hazard shift. So Omega Red isn't immune to incinerate, of course. He's immune to poison, so we can safely hit him when we have the poison node up. Of course, our only 4 hits in the incinerate phase gave us 4 incinerates, so a bit unlucky there. Well, our first 4 hits. Did hit him a few more times there. We heavy countered that heavy very nicely. Locked in the spores at 20, which is good. We're still in the poison phase now, so we can freely hit him. Unfortunately, our neutralize did run off. Our heavy attack was very poor there. Didn't quite connect, but we do throw the heavy there while incinerate is active, and we didn't get incinerated, luckily. We still got that Red Hulk synergy, so even though we're not stunning him, our perfect parries are applying extra spores. I got very lucky there that he ran in while we were throwing the special 2. I wanted to heavy cancel into it, but unfortunately the first hit of the heavy did not land. And I was just my heavies were really off today in this fight. I wasn't landing many. My spacing was just all over the place. But we do lock in the spores there. Well, we do lock in the degen. We have to build up the spores again to 10. And we're at 10 now as we enter poison, which is good. Now we just want to bait a heavy and throw our heavy. But unfortunately, I hit him to his block and he did go unstoppable for a few seconds. But luckily, that second hit of that heavy landed. So we were able to get the degen again. Only at 7 spores though. And unfortunately, he does hit us again with the special 2. I did that the last time I fought a Korg. I think that was on the root node. And we did it again in this fight. And I just hit him a few times there out of pure frustration, even though Incinerate was active. Again, I missed another heavy, and my spacing was just all over the shop today in this fight. He gets a few flourish buffs there, but we get into a special 2 and that finishes him off. So very, very poor fight by me, but Omega Red did get the job done in the end. Alright, so this fight is quickly turning into my favourite fight in Alliance War, just because of how ridiculously fun it is for Omega Red. So this is Man-Thing on node 20, so Strike, Counter, Fury, and Masochism over time. A lot of people would use Torch the pre-fight, but nah, Omega Red is actually faster. It's insane. He's faster than Torch for some mystics, including this fight. With Masochism over time, Omega Red with his spores can obviously completely ignore Masochism, and we did activate a power start 1. We definitely don't need it at all though. We can do this fight in like 30 seconds even without it. But I've taken this fight I think like 3 times so far this season. This is the first time I'm showing you guys though, because it's just crazy. He has 200,000 health and he's dead in 30 seconds. It's crazy. But standard Omega. Oh, I was not looking forward to this, but I have to show it. You could call this a highlight, but I'd like to think of it more as a low light. This is a Gorr on hazard shift, so no 22. We're using Kitty Pryde, and I'll just let this fight speak for itself. Yeah, we just did not do a single thing right in that fight. Missed an intercept and another intercept, I think, as well, and we just completely stuffed that fight up with arguably one of the best counters. Looking back on it now, I should have used a mutant power boost as well. Even on my next attempt here, I had to fully heal up for it again. But we ended up doing it without a mutant power boost. But if I have to do it again, definitely going to be using a mutant power boost because that makes this much simpler. But yeah, so I gave myself a few minutes to reset, and we went back in again with Kitty. Made sure not to miss any intercepts this time. We don't want to block too much because that will give us those debuffs. And even though we can ignore the damage when we're phased, I still want to rather not have to deal with it. Now this is an Incinerate and Shock hazard shift, so Kitty is fully Incinerate immune, so we can freely hit him while that Incinerate is up. And you can see, because we're boosted as well, those bleeds, those debuffs from Gorr are doing extra damage because we're not healing as much from them. Because the healing only affects your base health. And we do get up to 20 per hours here. We throw one special, and you can see that with a mutant power boost, this fight would have been done and dusted right then. It gets him down to 11%. Now, that's good, not much left, but of course his regen gets stronger the less health he has. So it will take definitely another special 2 to finish him off. Won't just be a few basic hits. So we're just going to wait out the shock part of the hazard shift right now, get a nice intercept there, and intercept him a few more times and not miss one this time. And you can see that regen is really strong when he's at low health, almost 2,000 per tick. It's crazy. So yeah, there's definitely a few champs that could do this fight. Kitty is definitely one of the better counters, provided you don't miss those intercepts like we stupidly did in that first fight. I'll let you guys know now. I am putting together like a compilation of a lot of my fails from the last few months, and that clip is definitely going to be in them because I think it's going to be a pretty entertaining video that you guys will like. When we do finish that guy off for the special one. Oh yeah, and then right after that Kitty Pryde, we had a Quicksilver, rank 4 Quicksilver on the Root Mini. Well, Mini, the one in the middle, no 23. So we've taken a few champs this season here. We took Korg, Kingpin. We got a Quicksilver now, so not the best counter on paper, but Omega Red can do this fight without too much issue. We are going to block that special one just to avoid us getting those Whiplash debuffs. It will build up those bubble shield charges though, so we do have to be careful that we make sure we understand or we are aware when he's going to be unblockable, which is every 10 hits. So at the 8 now, he does evade out of that one. We were prepared for that. I wasn't prepared for that last hit to be unblockable, so luckily we had that indestructible. We had an indestructible boost on, and we are able to lock on the degen there at 10 spores. We did lose quite a few while he was messing around with us. Got a few hits into block there, and he does go unblockable again. He can sort of like trap you in there if you block a few hits. It can be hard to get out of there. We were ready for that evade there. We do have a few Whiplash debuffs on us right now, but we parry once, that gets rid of one. And then the special 3 does finish him off there at 1% health, so finishing off in style. Yeah, so it definitely could have gone better, but we're still at 97% health, so really went pretty well. Nothing too much to nitpick there. Alright, so that's actually going to do it for today, guys. Those are all the fights I wanted to show you. There are plenty of other path fights that I recorded, but it's really the same old with Omega Red. Just a bunch of 30-second fights. There are a few other Terraxes, a few other Korgs. Mysterio or something, like Massacres of Mysterio, but really nothing that Omega Red doesn't obliterate. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and like I said at the start of the video, I'll try to get you guys 2 videos a week. including Alliance War and something else maybe, but I'm not going to push myself. Again, it's all about quality over quantity for me on this channel, but also this is a game at the end of the day, so life will come first before this. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace out.